When we think of big, muscular people, we automatically assume that they lift weights, they pump iron, same thing, or they go to the gym. But there is one phenomenon that breaks the conventional perception that you need to exclusively lift weights to get big. It is prison training. Should you get locked up just to get swole? That's not what I'm saying. This video is purely on the training aspect of prisoners and how we can implement their training principles to achieve our fitness goal. Especially if your goal is to get as big as possible, which is the primary goal of most of the swole muscular prisoners. How exactly do these prisoners get swole? Because they're not on steroids. You can watch many videos on any social media platform from former convicts, and they would all assure you that it's not any kind of performance enhancing drug. Some of them literally got locked up because of drugs, and you expect them to still have drugs? Anyways, so why do they become muscular? If it's not steroids, is it because of their cellmates' nutritional salts? Believe it or not, they don't even get to have high protein intake because the cops are preventing the inmates from getting swole. But still, they get swole. So my first answer is that they are doing high volume training. We all are aware about the magic of high volume training, whether it came from the famous bodybuilders, science based information, or even the term coined by Team 3D Alpha, nucleus overload. Now, they all say the same thing: high volume builds muscle. Well, for the prisoners, they are cranking hundreds and thousands of push ups, squats, pull ups, DIY weights. Now, we can talk about the benefits of a high volume training all day, but that'll be for a separate video. Now, the second answer is because of their recovery. Let's say you have 1 year of nothing but free time. Now, imagine if you dedicate that whole time towards training. Would you have progress or not? It's almost impossible to not progress with 1 year of consistency, regardless of experience level. That's just 1 year, let alone decades of imprisonment that a lot of the inmates are doing. But here's the tricky part: they don't have as high of a protein intake as us in the free world. How do they build so much muscle and gain so much weight then? While they lack an abundance of protein sources, they get to sleep a lot because of so much free time. Unlike us in the free world, we're busy with progressing our lives, whether it be because of school or work or maybe both, or whatever endeavors we have in the free world. Guys, sleeping a lot is as effective as high protein intake for building muscle, or arguably even more. Surprise, surprise, protein is not that important for building muscle. Let me know though if you agree or disagree. So, the third and final answer that I'll be providing you is the environmental adaptations. Prisoners build so much muscle because of the environmental adaptations. Now, this covers mainly on the mental aspect. Now, I haven't been to prison ever in my life, nor am I planning to. Neither should you. But unlike us in the free world, once we get a cozy bed, refrigerator, access to so many things, our bodies register that lifestyle as a very comfortable living. When we are comfortable, we are not forced to do anything. We can be whatever we want. Though a lot of people have problems with managing that, but it is an undeniable factor. With prisoners, however, they are constantly in a war mindset. Anytime they could be a victim of whoever is behind those bars, because that is literally the place where the criminals are locked up. Literally, the people unqualified for civilization are all there, all in one place. Naturally, whether you're not into getting swole, you'll have to adapt to the demands. That survival mode that they acquired activates all the necessary get strong chemicals in our brains and bodies. You can list all the scientific chemicals and whatever in our biological thing, but one of those includes the most famous Testosterone! Testosterone! And even if the chemicals aren't a factor, it is the pressure of being surrounded by people who are basically physically able to take advantage of you anytime they want, and they have nothing much to lose. Now, before we wrap this up, don't get into prison. Don't get locked up. The benefits of the free world is much more significant. Why do I even have to explain this to you? Anyways, what I am saying is perhaps we could instead apply their training principles towards our own training and our lives. If we apply it to our lives, it's much more effective. I'll give you my example. When the pandemic hit, and as we all know, it made most of people's lives less fortunate. Even the gym bros had a hard time progressing because they were attached to the gym. Some of them fell off, or maybe a lot of them. In fact, most of the people I know that were gym bros, gym rats, they kind of fell off. But for me, it was the opposite effect. I turned that unfortunate worldwide disaster into one of the best years of my life. Not only because I'm really introverted, but because I got to go all in on achieving my fitness goal as much as I can with all the free time. I was so obsessed with cranking bodyweight workouts, push-ups and pull-ups. A little bit of squats because I thought back then I already had good sized legs. I don't know. I don't know why, but in under 1 year of training push-ups and pull-ups, my chest, shoulders, and lats grew so much. Till this day, it remains as my best muscle group in terms of aesthetics. I also ate only canned food and a ton of eggs and rice because the economy went down so much. I had to resort to more budget-friendly food. And by the way, I'm not too big, but I came from being a hard gainer, like really skinny. So it also disproves that you need to pump iron exclusively to get muscular. So as someone who went through training like a prisoner, I strongly advocate this training style, especially if you are hesitant on spending money on gyms. If your goal is only to get muscular and you don't care that much about uh, weight progression, maybe training like a prisoner is for you. So yes, you can get as swole as much as you like with prison training. But don't forget, you can train like a prisoner, but don't train to be a prisoner. I have to keep saying this. Anyways, thank you for sticking with me throughout the video. I'd appreciate it if you drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you want more of these, let me know.